Welcome to week 4 of Turn Up, Bear Down. We're here again with Coach Matt Jansen. How are we doing?
What's up? What's going down, Bear Nation? I'm fired up. I got my Devin Hester jersey on this weekend because I'm predicting we got a special teams touchdown. Boom! There we go. Let's start the show, Scott.
Wow,
Let's go, baby.
that's a hot take. Let's get into it. Okay, it's week 4. Bears are going to the Meadowlands, as they call them. Do they still call them the Meadowlands? I know it's MetLife Stadium, but it's the New York Giants, New York Jets Stadium. I believe it's still in New Jersey. How weird as that is. But yeah, noon on Fox. It'll be fun. Bears are actually 3-point underdogs this week. Giants had to play on Monday night. I watched that game. They had it for a while, and then the Cowboys just took over towards the end. And yeah, backup quarterback Cooper Rush comes in and lights it up, and the Cowboys are able to escape with the victory. So I feel like that's good for us that the Giants had to play on Monday night, and we get them. So you feeling good about this game? Give us your quick recap on what's going down.
Yeah. So I was telling you, another team that is in my opinion, subpar, and so the lack of strength of our schedule is kind of helping us. I think early, kind of hopefully stack some wins and help us create some chemistry and a head of steam moving into this year and next year. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I watched the game as well Monday. CeeDee Lamb, broke my back in about 2 different leagues. I thought he was going to stay quiet in that first half. He dropped a touchdown, and then second half he looked very much like CeeDee Lamb, a lot of people drafted him for. But I think this is going to be kind of a sloppy game. Honestly, I think it's going to be low scoring. I feel like we say that every week, but especially this week, turnovers at a premium. So -3 there again. I'm okay with the Bears +3. I'm okay with the plus money line there. I think this game could go either way. I don't think it's necessary. It wouldn't surprise me if the Giants win, but in the same token, again, I think whoever protects the ball better is going to come out on top this week.
Exactly. Hey, fun fact: the Bears and the Giants played already in this year, not this season, but this year, because we played them back in January of 2022, and it was actually January 2nd of 2022. And this game will be played on October 2nd of 2022. So 9 months later, we're playing the same team. Okay, and actually
And
we
we
played
both
them.
have the same quarterback, so that's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. And we've played them like the last 4 seasons because the last time the Bears went to New York was the crazy Chase Daniel game where we lost in overtime. Both kickers like missed a field goal in overtime or something like that. We got an onside kick. Chase Daniel was the quarterback. And then since that game, we've won the last 3 seasons because we had a good game against them in 2019. We beat them in 2020. That was the game when Saquon Barkley got hurt towards ACL and was out for the year. And last year, I guess this year, we played them in 2022 on January 2nd. So, yeah, played the Giants quite a few times in a row. All right, players to watch. So, I was going to put Justin Fields here because obviously he's a huge talking point for this week's game. But I'm really looking for Darnell Mooney to make something happen. He is not having a productive season at all. He stayed after the win last week. I don't know if you saw this, but he stayed after the win like 30 minutes to an hour, and he was still working on one of those machines and catching footballs in practice. Khalil Herbert's the guy. David Montgomery is officially out. So I'm looking for him to have another big game. And then Raquan Smith. Wow, what a season he's having so far. You even said leading the NFL in tackles. It's not surprising when he had 15 last week. And then again for the Giants, it's the Saquon Barkley show. Will he be able to break loose? Bears' run defense has not been very good this year. Looking at rookie Kayvon Thibodeau to get free to cause some havoc for Justin Fields. And then Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes. He's always a topic of conversation. I don't think he's that bad of a quarterback, but he just hasn't quite seemed to get it right in the NFL yet. So there's the players we have listed to watch. Who do you like? Who do you not like so much?
Yeah, we got to start with Danny Dimes. Man, he ran a lot on Monday. I noticed. I don't know. It wasn't designed. It was more of play breaks down, escape the pocket, and he's got kind of sneaky speed for a guy that went to Duke. I think also it's going to be crucial third down for him. He does run well, but I also know that he is kind of one of those quarterbacks, a lot like his predecessor, Eli Manning. If I use that term correctly, I don't know. I'm just a PE teacher.
That's correct.
Thank you. That when you get pressure in his face, the decision making goes out the window. He's not able to make crazy like Aaron Rodgers type of elite throws with pressure, or even some of the other quarterbacks. It's more of like he's got to have a clean pocket. He's got to be his first or second read, and they got to have a little bit of separation, and then he's an NFL quarterback. But you get pressure in his face, or you speed up the timetable, and then he becomes, like your 8-man backup quarterback. So, that's going to be crucial. I see, obviously, Saquon. Can we control him? You're not going to be able to stop him. We're not going to keep him to 40 yards. He's going to have a day. He'll catch passes. He's back to the old, Saquon. He's the original quad father. I'm sorry, AJ Dillon, but he's the original quad father. And obviously, we talked about Roquan Smith leading the NFL in tackles. Pay the man. I'm sorry, pay the man.
Pay the man.
It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make any sense. He could ask for whatever. Give the man what he wants. He's obviously elite. Khalil Herbert, obviously, man, what a game last week. That was incredible. I think he led all. He was number one in fantasy points outside of quarterbacks. So, the loyal Bears fans, we know that he can do stuff like that. He's obviously a very productive runner. So obviously we're looking to see if we can not only get him going on the ground, but in the passing game. And then Cole Kmet,
who's that guy?
He caught the ball.
He did.
He caught the ball
twice, I think.
So, like I said, without just singling one person out, I just feel like, man, our new offensive coordinator, I think it's Luke Getsy. Man, we really need to see some new wrinkles in that passing offense to get the ball moving, get it vertical, get the sticks moving. So those are just a couple things that I'm looking for this week.
Yeah. Awesome. Excellent. And they definitely did have Cole Kmet open multiple times last week, but Justin Fields couldn't quite get the ball to him. It was so open that he overthrew him and threw the interception. So, all right. Hey, keys to the game. And, I mean, obviously for the Bears, it's going to be more ground and pound. That's working. It worked against the Packers. It worked last week against the Giants. You got to go with what's working. But I would like for them to find some passing game. And again, I'm not saying you got to throw for 300. Just find some open guys when it's time. Get some chunk plays. Move the ball downfield. Go back to that run game because that run game is tough to beat. And if you can run the ball, then it opens everything up. And it just feels like it's been so difficult for Justin Fields these first 3 weeks. So hopefully we can find something. And last week, it finally happened. A couple guys caught passes, but where are our wide receivers and where are our tight ends? And hopefully, Velus Jones gets to make his debut this week, our rookie. That would definitely be helpful. And we would just like to see some explosiveness out there between our receivers and tight ends because it just feels very, very difficult right now. And then again for the Giants, it's obvious. This is Barkley's game. Like they don't need to do too much in the passing game. And honestly, the Bears and the Giants are a lot alike. It feels. And then protect the ball. The Bears again last week, like we won that game because Roquan Smith was able to get that interception towards the end of the game. It's been a lot of big turnovers that really changed the game for us. And lastly, we're a control team, but if the Giants can control the clock, make us have to pass, I like their chances. So what are you thinking about the keys to the game and some other things not even on here maybe?
I couple guys that are on the Giants that I noticed watching them so far this year. Xavier McKinney, who I believe is a safety out of Alabama, and then Adoree Jackson, who's a cornerback there in New York, are guys that honestly, think about last week when they're playing the Cowboys. You got Schultz, you got CeeDee Lamb, you got Noah Brown. you got some playmakers there that they were able to kind of slow down a little bit. We don't have that. We
No,
don't have that. So
no, we don't.
Xavier McKinney's like a safety that could literally line up and cover a tight end. He can cover a receiver. He can cover a back out of the backfield. So he's really versatile, and he was someone who I know we talked about coming into the draft. We had hoped fallen to us. I believe he went at the end of first round of a year we didn't have a first round draft pick. I think 2 years ago.
I was gonna say, which year was
really
that?
For the last 20 years, we haven't had a first round draft pick. It feels like, but thanks to Jay Cutler and Ryan Pace. But either way, those guys are important as far as their defense. Our line's playing okay. It's not like the game last year in Cleveland where Myles Garrett, and those guys in Clowney are flying around and ripping Justin's head off. So seems like it's been better. I feel like last week we could build on that little bit of chemistry and a positive note that we were able to just run the ball down Houston's throat, and they couldn't stop it. And I know that it happened kind of on our end too, but New York's in more of a situation where they're running because yes, they have Saquon Barkley, but because the inefficiencies of Daniel Jones, right? They want to hide those by a good, solid running game that's running clock. I feel like on our end, we should be running the ball so that we can start to stretch the field and open up play action for Justin Fields and get some of that separation. So, like I said, man, I know he doesn't have Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams like he did in Green Bay, but I'm waiting for his identity and his stamp to be put on this offense, especially in the passing game. And like I said, man, I'm looking at the depth charts. Darius Slayton is your third string receiver out there. Now he's probably going to play this week because Sterling Shepard got hurt, and that's a huge piece of their passing offense. He would certainly hurt us if he was going to play because, again, with Jalen Johnson being out, that hurts us. Kyler hasn't proven himself yet. So, it's like, excuse me, it's like Darius Slayton is your third or fourth receiver. And to me, I would almost put him in that category with Mooney. I know they have different skill sets, but I would love a Darius Slayton on the other side of Darnell Mooney for Justin Fields. It just blows my mind how rich a lot of these rosters are with offensive talent. And we are still not in a position. And Velus Jones, I don't think is going to necessarily put us over the top now, maybe, but we would hope. But I get the feeling that at some point, when are we going to be in that type of situation where we have a guy like that's our third string, and we're that deep with offensive talent on the outside. So, turnover differential is going to be the number one indicator. Are we going to make field? Are we going to capitalize in the red zone? If K-Row doesn't play, who are we going to kick? Who's going to kick the ball? Is Scott Blakely going to come out of retirement and kick the ball?
Probably.
Is Austin Jackson from Central High School going to come out of retirement and kick the ball? Because watching the Chiefs last week, Matt Amendola, that was a nightmare. You might as well just let Justin Reed kick the ball at that point. So that scares me a little bit. And again, that could go against us when you're talking the spread and picking the winner of that game. I think that if Santos doesn't play, I wouldn't put any money down on the Bears personally. I think that's a bad investment with it being close and needing a kicker down the stretch. I think that's probably not the right move. But like I said, I am looking forward to it. I have some friends out in New York that I'm definitely, we're going to have a couple gentlemen's bet and be talking a little trash during the game. So looking forward to that. And, when are we going to have our explosive moment this year? Because we haven't had it yet.
Yeah. And you mentioned, why don't we have a roster that's that deep? Hey, $103 million next year, ready to be spent. We're going to be a lot better next year, I would think, after the offseason. But right now, again, you mentioned it. We're 2-1. We're playing another team that's 2-1 also, but beatable. Definitely an opportunity here. We're every time we get a win, I kind of feel like we're just playing with house money because we're not expected to be a very good team this year, but we're finding ways to win. And I really do like that about this team and this coaching staff, is they're finding a way, even if we have really bad deficiencies with our offense. So let's look at some specific predictions we have come up with this week. Justin Fields, 2 total touchdowns. What do you think?
Ooh, man, if Andy Dalton's little Chucky redheaded stepson was able to dice them up, I have to think that Justin's gonna get two. I'm gonna take the over there, at least. Well, I would say hit it or the over.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna say no. I think he maybe gets one. Um, and I hope it's a passing touchdown. But I think that Herbert's gonna get the ball in the red zone if we're gonna score touchdowns. What about Cole Kmet? Cole Kmet finally gets in the red zone, week 4 of this year. What are you thinking? Also, I don't think he had a
Uh,
touchdown last year. Yeah, I
he
don't.
did not. He
So
did
he
not. We
has
cataloged that.
he has no touchdowns in his NFL career. That's kind of crazy to think about a guy that size and a tight end.
And you took in the second round. I would say, I would say I would say no. Man, another piece that I'm hoping is healthy, and I'm not. I was kind of trying to look at the injury report. Is Byron Pringle? He's someone who we could use, who I think would help us, especially the fact that we're struggling. So I'm going to say no.
He's on the
And then
IR.
kind of moving on to that next category. Do the Bears pass for 200 yards? What do you think? I'm going to go ahead and say they do because I said we're going to. I think it's going to be 205. I don't know if it's going to be way over, but 205 on Sunday.
You know that Fields has not passed for 200 yards this season, right? I mean,
No,
he
there
has in
are times
total,
now,
but
Scott.
he has in total, but he has not in a game. So, I mean, something's got to give eventually, but I still think no. I think we're still running the ball. All right. Barkley, 150 yards of rushing.
I hope not. I hope
That's a
not. I only
lot.
have him on one team, one fantasy team, but I think he gets the total yards. I don't know if he gets to 150 rushing, but I think total yards. I very easily could get to 150 with Sterling Shepard being out.
Yeah, I guess I should have put that in there. But I did watch that game on a little bit of that game on Monday night, and they were talking about his big 43-yard touchdown run, or I think it was 43 yards. Man, he was looking back. He was looking good. He was looking fast. I think if that's the guy who shows up this week, I think we could be in some trouble just because, again, Jalen Johnson's out. We've had some weakness in stopping the run. It'll be tough. So I'm gonna say he's gonna get to 150 yards. All right, Kevon Thibodeau. Will he get a sack this week?
The only thing I think of,
Kalen.
is when I see him is that meme of him standing next to like a normal sized human being when he was at Oregon.
Yeah.
He looks like he's like, it looks like Andre the Giant and Mini Me, but I'm gonna say no. I think if I'm the Bears, why would you? If that's one of their most important pass rushers.
Do you remember that primetime game against the Eagles? Gosh, a year or two ago, when he
The fake
was
slide.
like running this massive. He was gonna run in this like super long touchdown, and he like fell down. That was
Yeah,
so
that's right.
funny.
Yeah, he tripped.
That was
That's
so
right.
funny.
Yeah, that's the epitome of his career, and I can't talk too much because
We're Bears
let's
fans.
kind of call him a Mitch Trubisky. He's
Yeah,
from the Mitch Trubisky tribe, but
same conference.
yeah, I could see a touchdown. Obviously, they're going to feed Saquon in the red zone, but I could see a zone read type of thing where maybe they score already with Saquon. Defense gets sucked in to try to stop that, and he pulls it and tucks it for a touchdown. So, I'm going to go Danny Dimes with a touchdown, and I'm also going to say Danny Dimes 2 interceptions because he's Danny Dimes.
I hope so. That would be good considering Jalen Johnson's not even playing. Okay, prediction time. I'm going Bears 17, Giants 16. I figured might as well keep it low scoring. A lot of our games have been kind of grinded out. We're only averaging like 17 or 18 points a game, and we're only giving up like, what was it? Something like that as well, 18 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are you thinking?
I'm going 23-20, 23-20 Giants. Like I said, I think I think they have a better roster than us. I'm not necessarily sold on their head coach, but I think this is a game where, again, I think we're a subpar team. I think even though we would think years past, like this year, hey, we probably should get this game, right? I mean, we should get this game. I just think this is a situation where we go out on the East Coast, we eat too many of Danny's Baggies on the East Coast up there in New York, Shout out to Matt Lopez. And I think we missed a field goal late to go to overtime, and we're sitting at 2-2 and back to reality.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bears.
You know what's super ironic is last week I think we said a similar thing about how this is a game when we played the Texans where we'd have thought, oh yeah, we're going to win this one. And then we went up 10-0 and I was feeling really good about it. And then all of a sudden we're down like 14-10. Felt like everything had changed. And that was right after we had we were up 10-0. Texans were 3rd and 7 on their like 28 or something. And they hit a 50-yard pass and it changed all the momentum. And then Fields threw an interception like the next play. So it's just, I don't know what to make of this game. I feel like it could go either way. I feel like I will say this about Eberflus's team is this is like a tough team. They're going to find ways to stay in the game. They're going to claw back. Even the Packers game, we were down 24-7 at half. Like they still had chances to make that a game and a game late, especially if Fields' touchdown counts because he was clearly across the plane. Anyway, still holding on to that a little bit. So
hey, before you wrap this up, because I know we're trying to set an all-time Guinness Book of World Records here.
Yeah.
Scott Slumper of the week.
Yes.
Don't forget about that segment. Okay, this is not Bears related, but I'm because we're playing the Giants, I wanted to bring this back to the Super Bowl. Okay.
Ooh.
I believe it wasn't the last time. It was the first of the two Eli Manning Super Bowl trophies. Okay, his Super Bowl victories. Throws the ball up. First off, who does he throw the ball to? The bubblegum catch. Who was that?
David Tyree.
David Tyree. Duh. My question to you though is, name one of the 2 or 3 Patriots that were there to tackle him after he catches the ball.
Ooh. Was Rodney Harrison still on the team at that point?
Gosh darn it. Yes.
He really was?
I thought I was going to get it. It was. I had to write a paper one time in a class in Missouri Western about Rodney Harrison's point of view from that play. So
that's crazy. You know what?
You got it. Honestly, I honestly thought I had you. I thought I had you on the ropes there.
You know what is wild though is that game, then the Mario Manningham catch the second time the Giants played the Patriots, but then the Patriots-Falcons Super Bowl when, Julian Edelman, the catch he made in that game was it's just insane. Those three.
Julio Jones made an insane catch in that game too. Yeah. I know it doesn't get talked about, but he made it even. I mean, not a better, but an insane catch too. And then go to that Seahawks Patriots ending. I mean, yeah, they've been in some wild ones for sure.
Right, and the way it always seems is it feels like there's a couple Super Bowls maybe the Patriots should have won that they lost, and a couple they lost they probably should have won. All right, well, hey, another great episode of Turn Up, Bear Down on a Friday afternoon. Getting ready for a great weekend of football. And Bears fans, don't forget to turn the volume up. And on Sunday, bear down. Hopefully we score a lot of touchdowns. We'll see you later. Bye.